Alright, here we are. There we go. I was just testing to make sure the pause button worked. Um, so it's been 3 weeks, almost a month, since I recorded the last episode of the Evan Button Show. That's actually not true. I recorded one with my friend Jake, and I just haven't felt like uploading it. It may get uploaded at some point, but some shit has happened recently, stuff in my personal life. I got dumped, which was really awesome. That was really a cool thing that happened. And, I just been working, recording music, doing a lot of nothing, really. I've lacked the motivation to record anything like this because, it's kind of, to me, it's been like, what's the point? But, I mean, now I am here. I do have things I want to talk about. I did an overnight at work yesterday. I've never done like an overnight, but it wasn't really an overnight because I didn't stay past 12. That was fun. I wish I could do more late shifts like that, but where I work doesn't really like permit that. I'd be so good at that though, especially if I got used to it. A lot of heavy lifting, real sore today, but other than that, things like physically for me are relatively good. I was sick for a good bit, and of course the summertime, springtime allergies had kicked in, which is why a lot in the earlier episodes you can hear me sniffling and whatnot, like that. And like when I talk, I get mucosa buildup, so it's like weird for me to like talk, and it feels like I'm like suffocating. So that's why you hear me pause so much and whatnot. It's real gross. It's real gross stuff. But recent happenings aside from getting dumped, I'm going to Third Eye Blind with my father. Yeah, that's exciting. I don't know if I talked about that in a previous episode or not, but that is something that's going to be happening. Listening to a lot of Pine Grove. I started listening to Pine Grove in 2019, 2018, 2019, which it's so weird that that song Need To became popular. Like it would be the song that gets popular, but it's so weird for them to get popular after everything so far had been out for so long. Um, I kind of rejected that notion. Like, I kind of rejected Pine Grove's popularity when it happened. Of course, Mr. Evan Stevens Hall and Zach Levine, those gentlemen. They're phenomenal. I love their music, and I do especially love everything so far. It's like an anthology. It's like Cap and Jazz. I can't remember what Cap and Jazz. It might just be an anthology, but Cap and Jazz all together, like their stuff that I think that's really cool. Um, Gladness by Helvetia's that way too. I've been listening to a lot of Helvetia lately. I can pull up my artist stats. Give me just a second. I can pull up my artist stats to see who I've been listening to lately. So we're gonna give the basic rundown here. The Smashing Pumpkins have been my top for the past 4 weeks. Over 2,000 minutes. That's pretty good. These people that leave, like, I looked at Panic at the Disco's top listeners, and their top listener has like 500,000 minutes, and that's ridiculous. Like, just leaving music idly playing in the back, or like while you sleep, leaving their stuff on loop. I think that's really lame, and it's like people who do those kind of things, they put so much. I put importance into numbers. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it seems so disingenuous. So you can be like, "Oh yeah, I'm Panic at the Disco's biggest fan," but I don't know. The Smashing Pumpkins are my favorite band, but I would never go as far to say as like I'm their biggest fan or anything. I don't even really like all of their music. Um, I don't dislike. I wouldn't say I hate or dislike anything. I just don't like all of it. I like everything to Zeitgeist, I would say. Like, and I love even more shit in there. So, like, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, I would say anything from 1991 to Adore, I love, right? But yeah, so the Smashing Pumpkins are my number one. Billy Cobb, number two. Shout out to my man Billy Cobb. I love you, brother. Um, Radiohead, number three. I listened to Radiohead a lot last night while I was doing that stuff at work. I listened to the entirety of the Benz. I think the Benz is a great album. I'll go to my albums after this, my top albums. Helvetia, I've been digging Helvetia. I'll just go through my top 10. November and July. I built him a Genius page. Juan Hel Mata, the very wonderful musician that man is. Pine Grove at 6. 7 is Tomorrow's Tessellations. Sleeper hit. I think Tino's got himself like 100 and something listeners now. He used to have over 1,000 monthly listeners, and it's kind of deteriorated as Tomorrow's Tessellations has dipped off the face of the planet. He didn't die or anything. He just stopped making music. A shame, really, because I liked stock footage of doves, and I think it was really good political commentary. Duster at number 8. My love for Duster kind of led to my love for Helvetia, because Helvetia is comprised of former Duster members or current Duster members, depends on how you look at it. But Marietta, I've been listening to, let me find the name of the album, Summer Death, I think it is. Yeah, Summer Death by Marietta. Oh my god, it's such a good album. And speaking of good albums, with after Marietta is Charmer, and I've been listening to Charmer's self-titled album a lot. And I've been branching out to more Marietta stuff. I haven't really listened to Charmer's discography. I feel like I should. I feel like that's a worthy investment, but I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I do really love their first album, which is why Charmer's self-titled is number 8, and Summer Death is only number 10 for my albums. Elliott Smith at 11. I'll actually go through the 15. Yeah. I'll go through my top 15. Elliott Smith at 11. It's Elliott Smith has been my catch-all be-all recently. I like I like his self-titled and Either Or. I've been listening to Either Or a lot more recently. Ballad of Big Nothing, Angelus Alameda. I think that's how you say that. I do like Say Yes, but I think Say Yes is actually like it overshadows the rest of the album. Speed Trials, I think the whole album. I think Either Or and his self-titled are just perfect albums. Are amazing. American Football. I listened to their first album a lot. It doesn't really matter what time of year. I think because of summer, I'll stop listening to it as much, but. Yeah, I also have been listening to their second LP a good bit. I haven't even listened to their third LP to be like in its entirety to be completely honest. But like Home Is Where the Haunt Is and My Instincts Are the Enemy. Those are the two. I also like Give Me the Gun a lot too. So those songs from their second LP really stand out. But I wouldn't say there's any songs that I dislike. It's just not as good as their first one, I don't think. And it's kind of a recuperation after the band breaking up. So, Horse Jumper of Love, I've been listening to their, oh, come on. It's, the stuff, the album cover has stuff about a vase on it. I think it might just be self-titled. Yeah, here, I pulled it up. There was a tiny cactus on my desk. I was angry and I smashed it down. The poor fucking cactus didn't do anything. I kept the needles in my fist all afternoon. I left the pieces of the pot and the dirt on the floor for weeks until my mom finally picked it up. 121. Horse Jumper of Love. They're self-titled. I've been listening to that a lot. That song, Ugly Brunette, I saw Angel Mata, it previously mentioned November and July, cover it after being obsessed with Ugly Brunette for months, or not months, like weeks. And I saw him cover that again, and then I just re-listened to it. And there's a song, Orange Peeler. Oh my god, Orange Peeler is so good. Yeah, so then there's Alex G. Alex G is just kind of stagnant in my playlists. I don't really take the time to listen to Alex G on my own. I listen to Trick every now and again. There's a song on my playlist, Hollow. Oh my god, dude, I did listen to Hollow a good couple times, and of course, I think I still have it on my YouTube channel. I have that cover of Advice, which I want to redo. I want to make another cover of Advice, but I don't know. I can't really do the song justice. It's a good song. The whole album's good. My favorite animal is the whale. Title fight at 15. Trust. I do love my title fight, but I listen to Shed so much. I figured that I need to kind of give it a break or else I'll get sick of it. I kind of did that with The Fever You Can't Sort Out, where I listened to it so much like I couldn't stand it anymore. But yeah, I mean, Smashing Pumpkins and Radiohead is pretty regular stuff. You know, I would put for bands in total, I'd probably put like Smashing Pumpkins and Radiohead. Smashing Pumpkins first, Radiohead too. But for artists, I'd do Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Cobb, Radiohead. And then it kind of gets complicated over there. I can't say definitively. Of course, I'll have Duster, Helvetia, American Football, Mineral, Algernon, Cadwallader, Marietta, Charmer, of course. But I can't even really say Charmer because I said earlier that that I've only listened to one album. But I'm really a big album guy. I don't pick like songs to listen to like on their own. It's very rare that I do, so I have to really like the song. Um, but which is why like my number one song in the past 4 weeks is "So Sick with It" by Helvetia, and it's got 63 minutes, which there are people I see with crazy stats for 4 weeks listening to the same song on repeat. I don't really do that. So number one is "So Sick with It" by Helvetia, and oh my god, that song is so good, dude. Oh, right after that cover of Hybrid Moments too. That cover of Hybrid Moments it is actually what inspired me to do mine on here. I do love the Misfits version. I've if you're gonna scream, scream with me. But yeah, I do like the Helvetia version too, and I like the slower pacing of songs. I just generally am like that. Number two is Unison with 50 minutes. Unison by Pinegrove. That song is phenomenal, and thank you to Mr. Evan Stevens Hall for fucking writing that song because it's beautiful. Why Am I So Tired by the Smashing Pumpkins. It's an outtake on Pisces Iscariot. It's a long song, so it's only got 3 streams, but it's got 45 minutes, and I don't know, I just really groove with Why Am I So Tired. The Cascade song, Why Am I So Tired, has nothing to do with that. I didn't even know it existed until after I had written Why Am I So Tired. June by November and July. The lyrics the lyrics flow really well, and I mean, just going through breakups and shit. A lot of November and July really strikes me. There's a song. There's this November and July song, and it's like, I promised I would never fall again, or I promised I would never fall in love again, but you called my bluff, and like, oh my god, being fresh out of a breakout, youch. Right Now, again, number 5, Silverfuck, a live version on The Aeroplane Flies High, live in Landover, 1996. 34-minute song. It only has 1 stream, but I listened to the whole thing, and Pistachio medley. I've never known how to say that. I don't know where the word comes from, but Pistachio medley has 28 minutes. I listened to it once. And then later on it came on again, and I listened to 6 minutes, and I'm like, I don't really feel like listening to the whole thing, which is why it's 28 minutes in total. How Does It Feel by November and July. Just see earlier. Deck Wine by Marietta, and then The Aeroplane Flies High, Turns Left, Looks Right. The aeroplane flies high, turns left, looks right. Is that what it says? Yep, turns left, looks right. Yeah, I really vibe with that whole song. I wish it was on Melancholy and not, stuck as a B-side, but it is a gem. And then my top 10 albums: Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, The Airplane Flies High, Turns Left, Looks Right. Or it's just The Airplane Flies High, apologies. Gladness, Pisces Iscariot, Adore, Siamese Dream, Everything So Far, Charmer, Either Or, and Summer Death. After that, American Football, Tomorrow's Tessellations, Gish, The Bends, and Hail to the Thief. There, the Radiohead song. I have been listening to There a lot. It's such a good song. Also pretty fun to play on bass according to Radiohead fans. I haven't learned the bass line to that one. I don't really learn Radiohead songs. I just don't. I know how to play True Love Waits the way that Tom York does in Oslo, and other than that, like. I don't really bother because I mean Radiohead songs are so artistic and beautiful that I could never match Tom York, and I kind of have the same ethos when it comes to Smashing Pumpkins. I don't really cover Pumpkin songs that much because I could never match the ethos. And when it came to that Need to Unison Pine Grove cover where I kind of mashed them together, I debated not uploading it because it was really stylistic to me and it was really personal, like from a personal perspective. That's how I took it. But I mean, I just felt like uploading it, man, and you know, anyone who doesn't like that is, more than welcome to not be on my page, right? It is my YouTube channel. But yeah, I played The Sims a lot for a good 3 4 days. I got two expansions. I got Get to Work and Dine Out, so you could own businesses, but it wasn't what I wanted it to be, and I've kind of been soured on The Sims since because I just haven't wanted to play. I want to get some of the game packs so the game runs like the game is intended to with all of its DLC, but it's very expensive, you know. And um just overall I've kind of stepped away from like video gaming all the time. I uh I can't really say that either cuz the past couple of days I have been picking up the controller a good little bit. I've taken a step back from Hearts of Iron 4 until I can get financially like so to get to a point where I want to start subscribing to that service again. Um, I'm probably gonna wait until they do the Germany focus tree rework that I've really wanted for a while. Um, there's no good communist paths for Germany in Hoi 4, and that's a shame because the fascist tree is really powerful. The fascist tree is very powerful. And I do like all the war history stuff and whatnot, but I don't like associating with fascism. Hot take: I don't like associating with fascism, and I don't like being driven into a corner where I have to play as a fascist. Italy is a fascist nation that has an amazing tree with a lot of amazing options. Little tedious going communist there, and the democracy or the democratic route is it's very interesting. Um, as for communist nations, I don't like associating with the Soviet Union as the Soviet Union is in history. Oh my God, it's such a tragic place to live, and probably why communism will never be viewed in a good light as an ideology, because the Soviet Union soured so many individuals with Joseph Stalin being a figurehead who did all these horrible things in the name of communism, whereas the ideas and actions themselves were in all actuality just distanced from you know they were just distanced from communism. It's really tragic that such a good ideology was taken into the wrong hands, and yeah, there's nothing anybody can do about it. That aside, yeah, I do want to get back into playing Hearts of Iron 4 again. I just like I want the game to be in a spot where I can play it and do new things. So, yeah, I mean, I've been playing the older Call of Duty games a lot. Playing Call of Duty like I played Black Ops 3 for a good bit the other day, actually. I played that Nightmares mode in Black Ops 3. It's actually really fun and really interesting. Little frustrating, but really interesting. And it's really glitchy. I wish they would have allocated a more in depth team to developing nightmares. And of course, um, Dead Ops Arcade 2, because I played Dead Ops Arcade 1 with my friend Jacob, and we were like, and I was like, I know there's a Dead Ops Arcade 2, and I've never played it. It's either in Black Ops 4 or Black Ops 3. It's in Black Ops 3. And I was like, you want to play that with me? And it's got so many cool features, and it's so charming. And, like, games don't have those types of features anymore. Black Ops 3 just had so many, like, little cool things about it that made it the way it is. Like, the whole Dead Ops Arcade, the whole zombies in general, nightmare mode, the whole speed run or the obstacle course things where you could get used to the movement systems. Multiplayer is like, for me because of all the DLC stuff and the whole pay to win. On the flip side, though, multiplayer was a really fun experience and it was really creative. Like, instead of just being stuck with with a limit of 3 attachments on a weapon, like in Black Ops 2, you could have a lot more than that. And I mean, it's just such a fun experience to be stuck in that sandbox. I guess the game can be seen to have a balancing issue. Oh my god. The VMP, the CUDA, like a lot of those SMGs are like just free kills basically because of the balancing in the game. That can be retorted with just get good, which is probably fair. I've never been really good at online multiplayer. I was good at 2019's multiplayer, and I wouldn't say I'm like bad at Cold War, but I'm not good at it. But yeah, I hear Gulf War is supposed to come out sometime this year, and if it looks good, I'll actually buy it. But yeah, I can't say there are a lot of games coming out that I'm really going to invest my time into. Fallout 76 was a real shitter, so I mean, I might buy the next Fallout game. We'll see. Depends on what it's like. I keep saying I want to play Starfield, but I really don't. Like, I don't want to play Starfield. All the games I want to play are old as shit, man. Like, Gears of War. I played Gears of War for a little bit. I don't know. I want to get into Gears of War by myself because I tried to play it with Jacob, and it wasn't a good experience. I want to get back into it, like, for myself. I want to finish those old Assassin's Creed games. I want to play those old Transformers games so bad, but you can't. Like, I wish I could play the first Transformers game. That game is I have so many good memories with that game. The first one, I played it on the 360 when I was younger. The Revenge of the Fallen game, dude, I had so much fun playing that too. I got stuck at some point, so I never finished it. What else? The third game I played, but not nearly as much. I still remember sitting at the TV playing that at my dad's. It was made by the same people that made War for Cybertron and Fall for Cybertron. I wish so badly that I could play War for Cybertron because I played that game so much. And Steve Blum does a hell of a job with his narration. The Decepticons. He voice acts Starscream in Transformers Prime, I want to say. Dude, that series is so good. I don't care what anybody says. I actually don't know what critics say about Transformers Prime. I don't know what people say about it, but I love Transformers Prime growing up. I like the G1 cartoons, and I did watch Rise of the Beasts when it came out. I love my Transformers stuff, and yeah. So, I grew up on the Bayformers, and I specifically remember... Hold on just a second. Yeah, I specifically remember going with, I want to say my grandmother and my father, and my brother, of course. I specifically remember going to see Age of Extinction. I didn't hate Age of Extinction as a kid, and I don't hate it now. It's just it doesn't fit in with the Witwicky, trilogy there. I think you gotta approach them differently. And they got Imagine Dragons to do the score, or not the score, the soundtrack. Um, I think Steve Jablonsky. Yeah, Steve Jablonsky. Steve Jablonsky. Um, yeah, he did the scores and the soundtracks were done, by Imagine Dragons in the fourth one. Uh, yeah, and I mean even that step to choose Imagine Dragons to do music for the film, as opposed to the usual Linkin Park. It it shows the distance between what was the Transformers trilogy with Sam Witwicky, and then moving on to Cade Yeager's storyline there. It is, you know, it shows the distance there. But yeah, I like the 1986 film, and then I like the Transformers animation. I love Transformers animation, dude. It's so cool. The G1. I haven't ventured past G1. I've seen some things for like G2 and whatnot, but G1 is mostly where my heart belongs. Jacob did get me a G2 Megatron, and I think that's really awesome of him. But yeah, Transformers, cool stuff. All those like War for Cybertron is such a good game. It's such a well-made game, and it's fun. It's got good character development. The whole shit between Megatron and Starscream is really interesting. And Barricade. Barricade is voiced by Steve Blum. I think. Yeah, Barricade is voiced by Steve Blum in that, and he does the menu narration. Steve Blum, dude, the guy is a fucking pioneer of my childhood. He voices Tank Dempsey. He does the stuff for War for Cybertron. He voices Gray from Bulletstorm, which, oh my god, my father let me play that shit way too young. Um, I can't think of any quotes from that game, but you know, Steve Blum voices Gray. Tank Dempsey, I don't know if I said that already. Voicing Starscream there. He voiced Wolverine in one of the shows too. I can't remember which one, but yeah, Steve Blum is awesome as hell, man. He's such a cool voice actor. Um, yeah. Peter Cullen has an iconic voice. Of course, he voices Optimus Prime. What other voices are ingrained in my head forever? Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh was in Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan movie. Kenneth Branagh was in Dunkirk. He's also, I think he's in a movie called, I think the movie's called Celebrity. It's, yeah, he stars in that. Kenneth Branagh. But his voice is stuck in my head because he did the voicing for the BBC Network's Walking with Monsters. And oh my goodness, I love that show. That probably, like, is the beginning, like, the genesis for my interest in, like, paleontology and whatnot. Like, there was stuff before the dinosaurs that was so crazy to me as a kid, and now, like, looking back at, or, like, at the Ediacaras and like all the Precambrian stuff, it's so interesting, and man, life on our planet is so beautiful. Not the TV show. Well, yeah, the TV show is beautiful. Getting Morgan Freeman to read. I think it's Morgan Freeman. Him reading off all the epic stuff in our planet's lifetime. It's so beautiful. I don't think it's as good as Walking with Monsters, but it's still very cool, and the visuals are beautiful. But yeah, oh man, have I derailed from the initial topic of this, where I've been, what I've been doing. I recorded the last Cascade album for a while. I do say that a fair bit, so I don't know how true that's going to be, but I mean, that's the intention. I've got some releases on deck. I am going to do another live album at some point, because I want to. And, I want to make a website with all my music on it, so I don't have to keep paying the DistroKid fee, and I don't have to pollute Spotify's airways. But yeah, I do want to get all that uploaded. And I want to have all my music accessible to people regardless of their financial standing. I would like to keep a website up with all of my music for people to listen to, and I want all my lyrics in one place. I want everything revolving me and who I am all in one place. I think that sounds egotistical, but I want to be easily accessible to people that want to find me. I don't want to be closed off from society or the rest of the world, but I do have works and I am associated with all sorts of things like programming and music and, you know, just writing in general, even. That I want all that stuff to be in one place, and I think that's important to me to get that made. And I want to do it on my own. I don't want, I want to make this website available to people that, like my stuff. I want to get some Cascade merchandise at some point. I want to get like a few CDs burned, maybe a vinyl or so. Get some T-shirts made, maybe even for people that want it. I'm not really big, and no matter what you look at, my work doesn't get a lot of recognition. But I think anybody that appreciates my stuff should be able to appreciate it how they want. So yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, the future's looking pretty interesting for me. College coming up here soon, and then, I'll be able to do the rest of my life stuff for the rest of my life. I want to teach English as a second language, and then eventually I'd like to publish in linguistics. I think that'd be really cool, and I'd like to do that because I like studying, and I love language. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what the stars will hold for yours truly. But as it stands, that is all I have to say for this video. I don't know when the next episode of this is going to come out. Left 4 Dead, I feel like it's worth mentioning. I'll play it eventually. I'll record. I'll get OBS running and I'll record again. But that's the future, man. And I don't even know if that's going to happen, but I'll say it's going to happen for the time being. That's all I had to say. Thank you for watching, if you did watch, or I guess it's listen. Thank you for listening if you listened. And yeah, your friendly neighborhood Evan Button, out of here. Thank you so very much. Until next time. Bye.